Hey guys, so it's that time of year once again. Apple's September announcement has brought us yet another iPhone for us to play with, this one obviously being the iPhone 6s. Now it obviously acts as a successor to the iPhone 6, so we thought it would be fitting to help you make a call on whether you should upgrade with our own video review. Now we're trying to give you a real look at the handset here, without all the advertising which tends to surround it. So this is just going to be a straight up look at the phone, and we've had ours delivered just this week. So without any messing around, let's get started. We've got to be careful opening the box here, just slide it out slowly. Now, as you can tell straight away, you might be able to see in the video here that the design looks identical to that of the iPhone 6. And it's clear that change isn't something which Apple's really embraced in terms of the design of the iPhone 6s. Now, just to compare, we've actually got an iPhone 6 here. And as you can tell straight away, there's very little which separates the two when they're hand in hand like this. They look the same from the front. Obviously this is the same space grey colour. On the back, pretty much the same design once again. Obviously you can separate the two, the iPhone 6s logo down here as opposed to the iPhone logo on the left one. But in general it looks identical. There's very little to separate the two in terms of the way they look anyhow. There is a little bit of difference in the chassis, the way it's been built. It's actually a stronger aluminium on the iPhone 6s. Now you might remember the bend gate problems which happened with the iPhone 6 Plus. Those have been promised to be avoided with the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. Series 7000 aluminium which has been used should be stronger, should be less prone to bending. So in general, it's a different metal, but it looks exactly the same to that of the iPhone 6. The screen as well is pretty much identical, same size, same quality, same resolution. Apple hasn't upped any of that. Doesn't really come as a surprise. Apple tends to keep them changes for the 7 model or the 8 model, so on and so forth. Every S model they do tends to keep the same size screen, same design, and the majority of the changes happen underneath the hood. So mentioning that, let's go behind the scenes. Now, is under the hood where the majority of the changes happen, and we've already mentioned this. First up is the new A9 processor. Now that's something which Apple makes, which tends to make the phone run a little bit faster than the iPhone 6, which has an A8 processor. And similarly, the M9 co-processor goes along with that. Generally helps performance behind the scenes. You won't really notice it in terms of design or the way the phone acts, but it makes it perform a lot better when it's on, in your hand, when you're using it in day-to-day life. You'll find that it runs quicker, less lag, and none of them little niggles which you might have had with the previous iPhone. Now, the biggest feature which Apple has added is called 3D Touch. Now, this works a lot like Force Touch, which was on the Apple Watch. It's the biggest feature for the iPhone 6s this year, and it actually reads how hard you press the screen to allow for different actions. So this can be purely for looks like the live backgrounds on the handset, which we'll show you here. For example, if I press down here, you'll notice that the screen changes. It's a nice little neat trick. Doesn't really have much of a practical use, but it's something which looks good. Equally, you can actually use it for something which is a bit more useful. So for example, the camera here, if I'm to press down and hold, it offers you a way to gain access to the camera app a little bit faster than before. So for example, if I wanted to take a selfie straight away, I could tap take selfie. Again, this works with a lot of Apple's first party apps. So Safari, for example, will do the same thing, and it does work with some third party apps as well. So if that's something you're really interested in, you can do a little bit of research. We'll be sure to tell you some of the apps which 3D Touch really makes use of. Another big change is in terms of the camera. Now on the front here, you notice that the selfie camera now packs 5 megapixels. Now this is a big improvement over the 1.3 megapixel offering of the iPhone 6. It improves selfies and it makes for better FaceTime video. And in general it is a noticeable upgrade from what we've seen. The back of the phone as well. This camera lens now packs 12 megapixels, which is an upgrade over 8 megapixels on the iPhone 6. It also records in 4K video if that's your kind of thing. If you're like an aspiring director, or if you have 4K screens at home, you'll notice that the iPhone 6s will perform better and it'll create better video. Although this does use up a little bit more battery and a little bit more space. Along with the iPhone 6s comes a brand new operating system. iOS 9 is available on all iPhones from the 4S upward, so you will be able to get access to it on many other Apple devices. However, the iPhone 6s is the first to come with it built into the handset, so you won't need to update. We've noticed that there have been numerous problems with updating for all kinds of manufacturers at the moment, so it's a nice little touch to have that sort of already on the handset. And although it doesn't offer too much in terms of design changes, there are some noticeable improvements to iOS 9 over iOS 8. The new low power mode, for example, comes in, lets you save your battery, which is something which has been a problem with previous iPhones. Also, there's a proactive Siri to make use of. Apple Pay also heads to the UK, and even works better with the iPhone 6s's improved Touch ID, which runs twice as fast as on the iPhone 6. Also, Apple's own brand of news app is coming to the UK soon. It's already in the US. Expect that before Christmas. In general, it is behind the scenes where the iPhone 6 has the most sway over the competition, especially over the older iPhone 6. The likes of 3D Touch, live photos, and the improved Touch ID fingerprint scanner all add value to it and makes it a much better phone behind the hood, under the hood I should say, sorry. And in general, it does make the phone run a little bit quicker and it runs a little bit smoother. And if you like fancy features, then stuff like live photos, which comes in, basically takes a video when you take a picture. It's a pretty cool feature, especially if you like taking artsy shots and stuff like that. And again, the 3D touch is a nice touch as well. Obviously something which isn't available on the iPhone 6, and works very well from what we've seen. So is it worth upgrading to the iPhone 6s? Now, if you have the iPhone 6 on contract, it's not very likely that you'll be able to get the iPhone 6s straight away as an upgrade without paying out some sort of contract fee. It's not very likely that many networks will be offering that. However, if you do happen to have the cash spare to make the step up, then it would certainly make sense to up the stakes. The design may well be the same, but behind the scenes there are a number of worthwhile improvements. The addition of 3D Touch and live photos makes some extra features which other handsets simply don't have at the moment. So if you do fancy picking one up over its predecessor, we definitely recommend it. Thanks for watching. For more iPhone 6 news, iPhone 6s news as well, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter or Google+, and make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thanks.